guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is about the makeup I will not be buying, as you guys saw in the title. I've seen this video going around multiple times by different YouTubers, and it's basically an anti-haul and what I will not be buying. So as you guys know, Makeup Junkie is probably my middle name, and if you're watching this video, it's probably yours too. But there are some stuff that I am not going to be buying, and I listed them out today for you guys because if you guys follow Trend Mood 1, you'll see that she posts like a lot of makeup brands that are coming out with new things and dropping new products. I mean, it's like so overwhelming. This is definitely not to bash any companies or anything like that. It's not saying I don't like the products. It's just saying that I don't feel like I need them, and I'm gonna go through that list for you guys right now. So if you guys want to find out what I will not be buying, just keep watching. So one of the first products I did not buy, this came out a little while ago, but it was the Anastasia Beverly Hills lip palette. The only reason I didn't want to buy it is because I felt like it wasn't necessary, and I don't think that it's a product that is very convenient for people who don't freelance. If you freelance and you're a freelance makeup artist, it's a great product. I have played with it like in store. The colors are awesome. It is great, but I feel like it's not really going to be beneficial for me, that I don't do any freelancing anymore like I used to. Now, if I get back into freelancing, I definitely will pick up the palette because I think it is a good palette. But the thing is that, honestly, let's be realistic. You're really not going to use that lip palette. You're not going to carry it everywhere. It's pretty big. It has a ton of colors in it, which is great, but you're really not going to carry it everywhere. And if you think about it, if you're doing your makeup, you're not going to pull out the lip palette. I mean, I know I wouldn't do that. So I just feel like out of convenience, and I don't think it's necessary for a makeup collector to have. Only if you're doing like freelance on the side, then it's great, but otherwise there's no reason to purchase it or buy it. The next product is going to be the Ofra Nikki Tutorials collaboration that she did with them. So if you guys follow me like on my Snap, you'll notice I haven't snapped anything about that or talked about that, and it's only because I haven't purchased it. I'm not saying it's not good. I just feel like the metallic lips I don't normally wear, and if I do, it's very far and few between. And I think there's two metallic lips in the collection, and then there's also the I think there's one matte lip and two metallic lips, and then there's also the highlight. The highlight, I feel like it's something that I really don't need. I'm not saying Ofra highlighters are bad because I love their Rodeo Drive. I'm actually wearing it now. I love Ofra, but I feel like they should have at least had it where you didn't have to buy everything together, where they kind of like broke it up for you. Like the Manny MUA collab with Jeffree Star, I felt like that was good because if you didn't want to get all the liquid lips, or if you didn't want to get the highlight, you had that option to do so. But with the Nikki Tutorials Ofra collab, I felt like you had to buy that whole thing together. And for me, I said, am I really going to use those metallic lips? That's what kind of pushed me into the no instead of yes section, just because I felt like that's something that I'm really not gonna wear on a daily basis. Like I said, I know Ofra highlighters are really nice, but for me, how many more highlighters do I really need? So I think the only one I was kind of interested in was probably the matte liquid lip. I believe it was a matte liquid lip, but that's the only one I was really interested in. I feel like they should have definitely gave a little bit more options where you're able to buy it separately instead of like the whole collection at once. The next product I will not be buying is the Urban Decay Afterglow palette. I just feel like, how many highlighters can I really have in my collection? I just got the Anastasia Beverly Hills, the Nicole Guerrero one. If you guys follow me on Snap, you guys know I got that when it came out. I have Ofra highlighters. There's only so much highlighters that I can actually have, and to be honest with you, I've seen a lot of Urban Decays. Like, I love their eyeshadows. Their eyeshadows are really nice. Their lip liners and their eyeliners, and I love like their glitter liners and things like that, but I'm not too sure how they're going to do a highlight. Now, I could be wrong. It could be like the best highlight in the world, but for me, I'm not really interested in that. I like Urban Decay for their shadows, and also, like I said, for their lip liners and things like that. I just feel like that's something that I really don't need in my collection right now. I know I want to go see it in store when it comes out, but I definitely won't be buying it. The next one is going to be the Violet Voss Rose Gold Highlight Palette. Like again, I'm gonna say this over and over, how many highlight palettes do you need? It reminds me so much of the Anastasia Nicole Guerrero one that I don't even need to even look at that because it's really similar. And you guys know I do like Violet Voss. I have one of their palettes, their Holy Grail palettes, which is like bomb. I love it. You guys have seen it here on my channel and one of my favorites. But I feel like how many highlighter palettes do I really need? And if you got that Nicole Guerrero palette, then you really don't need this. I feel it's not necessary, and that's the reason why I'm not getting it. Violet Voss one seems so similar to her palette. I mean, obviously I haven't seen it in person, but what I have seen through pictures, I feel like it looks exactly like hers. Maybe a little tweaks different here and there, but I feel like it's just not interesting to me and I'm not going to purchase it. So let's talk about the next product, and it's going to be the Morphe, the Copper Spice and the Bronze Mocha palettes from Morphe. I mean, let's get real, guys. If you got the 350O palette from them, and if you have the Violet Voss Holy Grail palette, I feel like how much more neutral colors do you really need? The 350O palette is like so versatile when it comes to a neutral palette. I love that palette. It's a go-to of mine, and also the Violet Voss, just because it has all those neutral shades. And I feel like the Copper Spice or the Mocha one, it just isn't appealing because I've seen it before. And I have a lot of palettes that have those shadows, so I'm like, do I really need that? No, I don't. It's beautiful, sure it is, but I don't really need it because I feel like I'll just be adding to the rest of my neutral eyeshadows that I do have. Like I said, if you do have the 350O palette from them, you're practically straight with neutral colors. You don't need any more because that palette has every natural neutral color possible in there, and the eyeshadows are really nice. Two palettes, I feel like to me, they just keep coming out with the same like kind of natural palettes, but maybe putting the eyeshadows in different places. I don't know, but they seem all the same to me. So that's why I will not be buying those palettes. So the next product I will not be buying, guys, is going to be the Becca Chrissy Teigen highlighter and bronzer palette. I think it has highlight, bronzer, I think blush or something. I think it's like 4 in a pan. There's a picture going to be somewhere around here for you guys. I'm not buying that because it's not original. I just feel like it looks a lot like the Jaclyn Hill palette when it came out, and that palette I never got as well. But yeah, so I just feel like it looks similar to things that I've seen already, and that's why I'm not really gonna spend my money on that. I said I do like Becca highlights. I have a few of them in my collection, but I'm not going to be buying that because I really don't feel like spending all that money. I did see it on Sephora when it popped up because I do have the Sephora app. I believe it was a couple of days ago that it popped up on my phone. I looked at it and I think it was like, oh my gosh, I think it was like $56. No, let me check for you. So it was $46, and that's almost $50, and I can buy a whole eyeshadow palette with 50 bucks. So that's the way I looked at it. I really don't need it. Like I said, it's not something that jumped out at me. I do like the packaging. I think it's really pretty, but it did remind me of Jaclyn Hill when she came out with her palette, so I see like the similarities there. But yeah, so I will not be buying that. So not sure if you guys seen the next product, but this is the Natasha De Nonna palette, and it's her eyeshadow palette. It comes with 15 eyeshadows, and it's a freaking whopping $129. Like seriously, these shadows look gorgeous. They do look beautiful, but I'm sure I have something like that in my collection. Maybe not in all the same palette together, maybe separate. I was like, are you kidding me? I am not paying $129 for 15 shadows. There's no way, no how that I'm going to be doing that. Kudos to you guys if you go and buy that $129 palette. But I feel like I have better things to spend my money on than an eyeshadow palette with 15 shadows that's $129. I know Natasha De Nonna is really high-end brand, but $129? Like, are they serious? Like, I can never see myself even purchasing any makeup for that amount of money. I don't think I would ever do that. I saw here when I did the video with the Chanel powder versus the Airspun, and I was like dying that I spent $52 on that Chanel powder. I was like, oh my god, please somebody shoot me, because I would never in my life spend $129 on an eyeshadow palette that has 15 eyeshadows in it. There has to be like some gold glitter. There has to be something going on with that that's gonna make me want to buy that. I better get a trip somewhere for $129. I don't know, not a trip maybe, but you guys know what I mean. I better get something else besides 15 eyeshadows. So next on my list is going to be the Huda Beauty Highlight Palette. I said that like 4 times because it was such a tongue twister. I like screwed it up. This was the last take on it. But anyway, so yeah, I will not be getting that palette. I think there's 2 that she's coming out with. One for lighter skin tones and the other one for darker skin tones, which I can really appreciate. Like I said before, how many highlight palettes can I basically have? It just boils down to that for me because I do have the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette. I love it. That is one of my favorite palettes that I think I've ever purchased from her. So it's not the brand, it's not her, it's nothing like that because I have nothing against them. But I feel like I said before, how many highlight palettes can one person have? I know as a makeup junkie, I sound crazy saying that because you know, I probably have a drawer full of highlight palettes or highlighters. But honestly, like when I pull out my highlighters, I can probably think about 3 that are my favorite and that I use the most. And the rest of them, they just sit there in the drawer and collect dust, as horrible as that is. And I really don't want to spend my money on something that is just going to sit around. The last products that really don't interest me is the new Tarte Amazonian clay line that they're launching. And I'm going to look at my phone because it's a lot of crap that they're launching. It's going to be a clay play palette. It's for your face, sculpting every angle. The Amazonian Clay Stick Foundation. The Amazonian Clay Stick Foundation, I think I may be interested in getting, but I have to test it in store first. So that's the only thing. I'm not crazy about stick foundations. I hated the Anastasia one. I do like, though, the Lancome Stick Foundation. That's the only stick foundation that I've ever felt that I've liked. The Makeup Forever ones, they were so-so for me. So yeah, so that's the only thing I think I might try, but I think I'm going to try that in store. I won't buy it until I try it. And then they're also coming out with a base for your eyes, which I'm kind of a little interested in seeing because of the fact that you guys know I always use my MAC Painterly paint pots and I hate everything else. I don't like the Urban Decay lid primer. I don't like the Too Faced lid primer. I don't like them. So depending on how this lid primer looks, if it's clear, definitely a no-go. If it's something like the paint pot, that may be something I'm interested in. But like I said, I am not purchasing anything until I see it in store and I'm able to touch it and feel it and see how it works because I don't want to pay for something that I'm basically not going to use. I'm also going to have a mascara that's coming out, and what else? And it's going to be in limited edition packaging, which they always say limited edition, and then a month later they bring back the same products. So I love Tarte products, but I feel like I need to see this firsthand and touch it and feel it, because if not, I definitely do not like the Tarte foundation. I never liked it. I feel like it's too thick for me. I've tried it like on numerous occasions. I actually have it in my drawer here, but I don't know. Every time I wear it, I hate it on me. A lot of people do like it, but I feel like it's so thick, and that's a reason why I'm not really crazy about it. But I do love their blushes. That's one thing I will give them. I love the Tarte blushes. I love their lippies. You guys have seen them here on my channel multiple times, but I really want to see this in store. I want to touch it. I want to feel it. I want to see how it works. I don't want to just go out and purchase it online and spend my money and then be disappointed, especially in that stick foundation, because I'm not crazy about them, first of all. So I would definitely like to see it in store, but as of right now, that is not on my list to buy. So guys, that is it for my anti-makeup haul. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks guys. Bye.